freedom fighters, I'm back with another one. Well, they done did it again. They're back at it. The Uniparty strikes again. And whenever these two get together, it's always a disaster. It's like a toxic cocktail of chemicals. One on its own might be fine, like bleach and vinegar. On their own, the two separate things are fine, but mix them together and they're toxic. And of course, what I'm talking about here is Republicans and Democrats. So they came together to sign another uniparty bill. And you know what I've said, whenever I hear the word bipartisanship, that means we the people are getting screwed and they're lining their pockets and running away laughing. And we're the butt of the joke. But yeah, so what are you going to get? They paid for $400,000 to transition kids, $850K for a gay nursing home, $500,000 for a DEI zoo. They're funding the three-letter agencies. I think like $400,000 for them, and they're funding and building a new headquarters, a red flag headquarters, so they can terrorize American citizens some more. And that's what you're paying for. And then $15 million to pay tuitions in Egypt. So once again, helping out the whole world, but Americans get left behind. And, what I wanted to talk about too is how they get you to support all this stuff. And they throw little things in there to make you feel good. Like I heard one of the Republican congressmen or something were saying, well, we can no longer fly the LGBTQ flag above embassies. So it's like, okay, great. You get this little semblance of a victory. So they can't fly rainbow flags at the embassies anymore, but they're paying $400,000 to transition kids. So again, you're not winning anything. And this is how they get you to support all this other crap. And I've said it before, this whole thing, Trump's immunity deal, I have a feeling is going to open the floodgates to absolve all these criminals of their crimes. And you know what I always say, the big three, they're either scared, stupid, or complicit. And when I'm looking at this, I'm like, if Trump gets immunity, you can kiss all this, drain the swamp, and, people think they're going to hang the traitors and all this stuff. That's never going to happen. The whole cabal you think they're going to bring down is going to get immunity. And that's what, I can't remember if it was Trump's lawyer or Biden's lawyer, but someone in the court system said, so basically a president can assassinate their opponent or, do whatever they want and they can't be held liable. So, all the Epstein Island trips and false flags and everything else they committed, they're going to get blanket immunity for. And this is how they get you to support stuff like that, because they're like, everyone wants Trump to get immunity because they're like, yeah, that's my guy. We're rooting for him. They don't look further down the road of what's going to happen and how all the other guys that you don't like are going to get let off the hook, using the precedent that you get blanket immunity. As I think this is only covering presidential, but it's going to move into politicians and people of office that they can't, be held responsible, just like police. It's going to be qualified immunity. They can't be sued. They can't be held accountable. And this goes back to the video I did of I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy and, Hunter's gun charges. Everyone on our side's rooting like, yeah, take his guns and all this stuff. And it's like, no, you don't have the ability to take anyone's guns. All gun laws are infringements. I don't understand how you don't understand that, but, because it's not your guy, you want the full weight of the law to come down on them. I don't want the law to come down on anybody unjustly, especially with unconstitutional laws. And recently, a judge just ruled illegal aliens have rights to firearms. And certain members in our communities were up in arms like, they're arming the enemy and all this stuff. And that may be so. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but at the same time, I don't believe in gun laws. Because again, to me, they are God given rights. They don't come from government. It's because someone wrote it on paper or laws or, badges or robes say you can or cannot do something means nothing to me. It's a human individual freedom given to you by God. So that, certain people say, well, it's an American citizen thing. No, to me, it's a human thing. It's your natural right and ability to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So, yeah, that covers illegals as well. And I know people don't like hearing that, but I mean, that's just the way it is to me. I'm not God. I can't dictate on who and who doesn't get to carry and possess firearms or defend themselves or use whatever they deem necessary. But this is how the Uniparty gets you to support things that you normally wouldn't. And I saw AOC doing an interview or something the other day saying Biden's been a great progressive president, all this stuff, and that he's done a lot, but he could be doing a lot more if it wasn't for the divided government and those pesky Republicans holding it all up. And this is how again they play the game because he had it all. When he went into office, he had the House and the Senate. So he could have done whatever he wanted. And so did we. And when I point that out to people, they get all mad like, well, Trump didn't know what he was up against and all this stuff. It's like, no, we had it all. And this is what made me stop believing in all the Q-tard crap. Because when I was like, oh yeah, the drain the swamp and trust the plan and nothing can stop what's coming, the storm is coming. And then when I saw that we had it all, and then Trump gets in there and is a middle of the road conservative, and that's what they try to do. They try to go in there and play the politician game, and he's like thinking, if I govern moderately, then maybe I'm going to gain some supporters from the other side. No, you are never going to get them on your side. They're always going to hate you. There is no come together and heal the nation and compromise with these people. It's done. It's over with. And we had the chance to drain the swamp and all this stuff, and it didn't happen. And behind their back, behind your back, it's all they're gonna scratch your back if you'll scratch mine. And you'll see these headlines all the time. I see them, these extravagant headlines of Garland is grilled on Capitol Hill and Peter Strzok gets put through the ringer. Rosenstein is drugged through the mud, and Comey goes through the meat grinder during deposition, and so on and so on. They're gonna get questioned real hard, but nothing is gonna happen to these people. It's all theater, and you're getting played. I saw this meme earlier today on True Social of this AI generated image or photoshopped image of Letitia James, like as an old woman. And it said, we're gonna get them, or the house of cards are falling. And, they were laughing and like Teflon Don, they can't get nothing to stick to them. And I'm like, do you not see how it's the same way for us? Like, I feel like I've been waiting decades to see these people fall, decades to see something done, but it never happens. And all your politicians do is talk, and then at the end of the day, they support bipartisan bills that screw your country even further, throw your rights out the way, and forget America and pay for the rest of the world and help everybody else out. And Tucker pretty much destroyed Mike Pence's career in that one interview where he was like, why do you keep talking about Ukraine? Why are you so worried about all these other countries? Why don't you take a drive through, you name the American city, and the dilapidated buildings and roads, and everything's falling apart. There's graffiti everywhere. People are walking around like zombies. Everyone's strung out. And he's like, well, that's not my concern. Yeah, because America and Americans are not their concern. And that's pretty much what it comes down to there. And then Biden once again said, I'm sending another 200, $300 million to Ukraine. And you remember when he said, hush, and he whispered it, I'm sending more aid to Ukraine and all this stuff. And it was like the video I did before where I said, they don't ask you about what they're going to do. They don't care about your vote or what you think. They're going to tell you, suck it up and just do it. This is it. We're sending $300 million to Ukraine. Suck it up. We're going to send, $15 million and pay for Egypt's tuition. We pay for all of Israel's health care and their education and everything. Suck it up, slave. Do as you're told. Don't complain. Pay your taxes. And just, again, you're the hamster running on the wheel. Don't you ever complain or do anything about it. Just keep chasing the carrot on the stick. Again, they're not going to ask you, oh, you use a wood stove? No, you can't do that. Or, you went to gas. Well, now you have to have electric appliances. Oh, you can't afford the electric bill? Well, too bad, slave. I'm sure you'll figure it out somehow. Drive you out of gas vehicles, drive the price up, force you into consumerism that you can't afford. Oh, just go buy an 80K EV, pleb. I'm sure you can afford it. Oh, you can't even use a gas lawnmower anymore or any of this. You need to go buy the new $2,000, electric lawnmower or whatever the heck it is. It's ridiculous and they don't care and they're just going to tell you to do as you're told. And they're all looking out for each other and they're all, and then I can't remember if there was a pay raise in this one or not, but then they up their pay so they can afford it. And again, what I'm trying to get across here is it's both ways. And another thing that pissed a lot of people off, I was on True Social the other day, I reminded them that Trump did the exact same thing. He had a 1.2, $1.3 trillion omnibus bill, and they even had to roll it in on a cart. It was so thick. And he said, nobody read this, and we just have to pass it. And he said, I'll never do this again. But the fact is you're doing it now. And none of these politicians, again, it's not on the ballot. If you think, the guy's going to come in there, some guy, your guy is going to come in there and end the Federal Reserve and drain the swamp and destroy government, that's not on the ballot and will never be on the ballot. That's the thing of revolutions. And that's why they want to take your amendments away. That's why they're so afraid. And, I saw Byron Donalds, who I once liked, but what I said, I don't trust any of these people anymore. And he was saying, well, this is the best you're going to get. We have to go for this because this is the best we're going to get. And Lindsey Graham said the same thing. If you think Trump's going to get in and we're going to do any better, we're not. And see, that's what it is, man. It's already baked into the cake. Even if they let Trump in, they know they're going to get complete opposition. They're not going to be able to get anything done. It's going to be a stalemate. And they've already said, okay, that's what it's going to be. He's going to go through court case after court case and all this stuff. And once again, they're going to stall and he's going to get nothing done. And with that, I think I'll leave it there. Let me know your guys' opinion on this. And as always, man, we are on our own. No one's coming to save us. So get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.